Alright, let's get started. Making a hip hop beat. Press F11, bring up the VST instrument rack in Cubase. We'll load in Maschine. Cubase is asking, it's about to ask me if you want to create a MIDI track. I do, so I'll click Create. That assigns this MIDI track to Cubase. We'll put the MIDI inputs to Maschine MIDI out, and we will go into the Group A tab, Sound MIDI Batch Setup, Sounds to MIDI Notes. This will allow whatever we play in Maschine to be recorded on the MIDI track on Cubase. Alright, so let's put a kick in. We'll put it on this tab, this pad 1. I'm going to switch over to the waves here. I'm going to sort them by kick. And then find one I like. I like that. Okay, we'll select pad 2. We'll sort by snare. And we'll find a snare we like. Maybe we'll sort by rim shot. Narrow it a little more. Actually, I'll go to acoustic. Try that. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Alright, now I'll select pad 6 and we'll put a rim shot on there. We'll select both acoustic and rim shot. Okay, that'll be our kick and snare and our accented rim shot. I'll pull the volume down on it a little. Just getting it a little more in line with the other one. Alright, now we'll make a little drum groove. I'll turn the click on Cubase. I'll move my loop point to bar 5. And we'll play. We'll come up with something we like. Set Cubase to loop within the loop point. Okay, I'll record something. Hang on. Control Z to undo, or Command Z to undo. Okay, we can turn the click off now. I'm going to press F11 and I'm going to load in my Krome editor. That puts a VST editor for this synth in, for Krome. It takes it a few seconds. It's transferring all the data between it and the computer. It's also going to ask me if I want to create a MIDI track, and I do. Now I'll add an audio track. I'll set the MIDI to all MIDI inputs because we want the MIDI coming in from the krome. For some reason I'm not getting any sound off of it. Just a moment, I'll check my wiring. I recently rewired the whole studio when I revamped it, so I must have something out of whack. Let me check it. Alright, our problem was the power to my mixer was off. We now have the krome coming through. So we'll come up with something with that drum beat. sort of patterns. I'll record the first one. Alright, I want to sustain, use the sustain pedal on those notes. So I'll record it right at the start. For some reason my sustain is not working with it. We'll just put in more release and see how that sounds. I'm going to double this, duplicate it, and then in this second section I'm going to add those bass tones. Underneath the rest. Them down some. I'm going to change some of the velocities on these notes. Raise them up a little more. Delete that last note. I'm going to duplicate this last section. I'm going to change the drums just a hair. We we got our main snare falling on the 4. I'm going to bring it up. Let's see how this sounds. That sounds better. I'm going to copy the first into the third measure. Quantize it. Note. Alright, let's hear it from the start. Alright, I'm going to lower the velocity on them. I'm going to take out the higher note on that and just leave the lower note. Let's duplicate the drums over. Duplicate that section over, and we'll add in some hi-hats in this. So I'll duplicate my Maschine track and delete what I had on it, and then we will go into the instrument here and select some hi-hats for pads 3 and 4. I'll put a alright, let's select hi-hat closed. Some of these will be okay, very light. We'll put a couple of those in. Okay. Let's see what we can add in with that. Pattern in now. Alright, we'll take the first bit of that and duplicate it. And I think I'll bring those up in the mix a little. They sound alright. I'm going to select pad 8, and I'm going to add an open hat on that. So we'll put it in for more variation. Okay, I'll call that closed hats. And then I'll duplicate it to put the open hat. We'll delete what we had. We'll call it open hats. And then we'll put this in. Alright, let's see how this sounds. Sounds pretty good. Let's put a bass, F11 for the VST instrument rack, and then we'll load maybe the Korg M1. No, let's do something a little more electronic. So we'll go to Reactor, create a track, and then we'll load in Razor. Alright, we'll take it to an initialization patch. I'm going to MIDI learn on the cutoff. Rotate my knob here that I want. Turn on safe bass, which puts a bass tone underneath what you play. I'm going to turn on the reverb and pull it down a good bit. Maybe a little more. Turn down the smear. There, that gives it a little more space. Alright, we'll fool around with this. I'm going to turn off the glide, turn it down so it automatically goes to the notes. Just turn it way down. Pull up a little randomness, and let's do some more playing. Okay, I'm going to follow the bass note of the piano on that lead intro. And I'm going to vary it in whenever the hi-hats kick in. Okay, something like that. Let's listen to what I just played there. Okay, we'll take that section and duplicate it. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I want to put maybe a delay in on the piano. So we'll go to the track that it's coming in on and put an insert of Guitar Rig 5 in. Sounds weird to use Guitar Rig on a piano, but there are some very good modules in this. So we'll click Components, Delay and Echo, and then we'll add in a tape delay for that piano. Pull it down a little. One other thing I think I'll add is Eventide Black Hole, which is a reverb, but I'll pull the mix on it down pretty far. It'll make it sound very dreamy. We'll tempo sync it also. Now I'm going to boost the upper frequencies on this track to make the piano pop out a little more. The upper range of it anyways. Okay, that section sounds pretty good. We'll scooch over to another section and color it a different color. Start with a copy and we'll pull out the piano part, the main riff that was going on there. We'll pull that out and then we'll just leave in the bass notes and of the piano and of the bass. And see how that sounds. Chorus section. We'll color it a different color. Alright, I'm going to put 12 bars in the verse section. So we'll make another part there. And this is going to be the meat and potatoes loop of our song. This will be the verse. chorus. I'll fool around on the piano and see what we can come up with. Alright, I'll fool around some more. Alright, we'll add that. Let's see how that sounds anyways. Okay, I'm going to modify the velocity of these notes so that sort of comes in quietly. Alright, I'm going to pull back the drums there right before the change back to the chorus. I'm going to pull out that open hat there also. Just leave the last one. Take the hats out here before the bar change to the verse. And this will be the verse section. Alright, right here I want to add an element that isn't in the mix already. Let's add a new, we'll duplicate one of these hi-hat tracks here and delete everything on it. And then we'll go into Maschine and pick another pad. We'll pick pad 7 and we'll add a very simple hi-hat. So we want something that's digital, thin, and will stay in the background. We want a closed hat, something very small. Maybe, let's hear how this sounds. And what we're going to do is we're going to play this probably on a note repeat. Maybe 16th notes. Let's see how that sounds. Maybe 8th and 16th switch between. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Let's record that. Okay, we'll duplicate that. I need to put it in 16th note on the auto quantize, and we'll move it over the rest. You want to always have little elements coming in and out of your mix to make sure people don't get bored of listening to the same patterns. So you want things coming in and out. So we'll add that coming in. So you have a couple of bars here. So you go 4 bars and then a new element comes in. Pull it down a little bit in the mix, but not too far. It adds more interest to the hi-hat pattern. In this section, you have the piano coming in. And we'll end the hi-hat pattern at the same spot. Whoop, one more note maybe there. One less. Alright, I want to add another element to the chorus that's not in the verse. So we'll add a little more variation there. We'll press F11 again. We'll add another instrument. Let's add a Korg M1. Create a track. And we're going to put a choir sound of some type of vocal element in there. So let's listen to some of these choir sounds. That won't work. Let's see how this sounds in there. It's going to follow the bass root note. I like that. Let's record it. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. I'm going to bring it down in the mix some because it's a little loud for what I want. I want it to be a background element. So we'll pull that instrument down. Quantize it on 8 notes. Okay, this last note, I think I'm going to pull the last leading note and the last note on the one out. I like that. It adds a little bit more variation. It's specific to the chorus. I want to bring it, let's see, let's listen again. Okay, in this section, I'm going to raise that note on the 1 and the switch. I'm going to add a transition element. So it's going to be a reverse cymbal. So I'll go ahead and add a drum machine, Groove Agent 1. We'll create a track for it, and we'll load up a kit with a cymbal. C#2, that's our note. We'll click it and we'll go to the voice and then we'll put it in reverse mode. So it does that swell. and then we will put that note in there. It's C# 2. So we'll draw a MIDI part in. Double click it, C# 2. Put a MIDI note there. And then we'll move it to adjust where it needs to be. That sounds pretty good. Listen to it again. Alright, I want a big crash right there. So let's go back to Maschine. Duplicate one of the Maschine tracks, delete what's on it, and call it crash. And then let's look at Maschine. And then on pad 13, we'll put a crash. Symbol crash. See how that sounds in the mix. I like that one. We'll put that in. Okay, and we'll pull the volume on it down because it's loud. On the transition to the chorus, from the chorus to the verse. like that. Let's add one more segment to the intro. Duplicate. Move the loop point. Okay, you hear a little click on the reactor, on the bass, when a leading note comes in and out. That is generally caused by short attack and short release. So we want to add on the amp envelope a little more attack and a little more release. That got rid of our issue there. Okay, we'll see how it sounds with the drums over the whole part. Consider seeing how this sounds over it. I like that. Both of those melodies in the intro. And then when the chorus section comes in, it's got the full thing. We'll duplicate the chorus and the verse again. I want to have 2 verses, 2 choruses, and an intro and outro. We'll see what the length of the song's like then. Here we go, back into the chorus. Right now we're at 1:48. We should be pretty close to what we want once we put outro in there. 2 minutes just passed. This is our second verse. We'll put a chorus at the end. We're at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. chorus. Put a little outro on the very end. We just hit 3 minutes. This will be our outro. And then we'll take the last bit of it and reduce it down. Let's zoom in on this very end. And we'll end on a chord. So we'll pull these notes into something closer. That's it, 3 minutes 30 seconds, and that is our song. Let's hear it from the top. I think I may put that little trill of notes in this section too. Let's see what it sounds like with it. We'll zoom in on that. Okay, let's, I like how it sounds at the very end. Let's see if we can copy that over into that pattern. We'll copy that. Command C. We'll move back. Command V, put it on the right track. See how it sounds. Trim this back to put it here. I might duplicate it. So I'm not feeling that exactly. Pull the F, the high F in there also. F sharp, I'm sorry. Or F6. Okay, maybe we'll add some echo on that track. F3 for the track. and then we'll put a delay, mono delay, put it on around an 1/8 note, not a lot of feedback, and mix. Try quarter. Okay, I'm gonna do some automation here. We'll put on right automation, and we'll automate out the mix on this once it gets past that section. And turn off right automation, leave on read, and it'll bring down the mix of just this instrument or this effect when that section's out. Take out the first crash, and I'm going to bring that choir sound down a little more in the mix. It seems a little overbearing to me. I'm going to pull the drums just the last little bit out right before that change. Take them away right before the twitch. I think that bass note is a little too loud now, so we'll pull it down a little. Down a little there, and see how we like that. going to pull down the crash some on the transition to the verse. So it's into the outro. This is out of the chorus into the outro. Alright, sounds good. Let's put our audio tag, the J Steve audio tag in.
J Steve.
I think I want it right here before the transition of the piano part. Move it up a little more. I'm happy with the way that sounds. Let's save the project. Backup project. Cubase project stream. We'll create a new folder. We'll call this wood grain, and then we will save it in this folder. Wood grain, B minor, and then press OK. And that's that. If you're interested in using this beat, it's free, whatever. If you want it, just hit me up, email me, hit me out on Twitter, @ChainsOfLogic, that's my Twitter. And I'll mix it down for you and you can have it. Royalty free, all for you. Thanks for watching.